guys, welcome back to my channel. It is kellyneshell. Today I'll be sharing with you my unpopular opinion about marriage. Now these are my opinions and I am entitled to my own opinions, so is everyone else. So let's get straight into the video. My first unpopular opinion is not everyone needs to be married. I feel like a lot of us believe that we have to get married because we see our friends getting married, or it's something that our family has instilled that, you know, you should get married and all of that good stuff. But the truth is, in actuality, not everybody needs to get married. Some people, they're quite happy being single, and I think that that's a fact that we should all get comfortable with. Not everybody needs to be married. Some people, they get married and because it was not for them, but because they did it because, you know, it's expected from them, because, you know, some of us come from very religious backgrounds, so marriage is something that is encouraged. But in actuality, not everybody have to get married. It's not for everybody. And if somebody says marriage is not for them, it's not because they want to be out there whiling or doing the most, but they don't see themselves committed to a person, or they don't see the significance of it. So as I said, marriage is not for everybody, and that's my unpopular opinion, my first unpopular opinion. My next unpopular opinion is don't get married or engage on a date that is significant to each of you. Say for example, don't get engaged on Christmas, Mother's Day, birthdays, all of that. Why? It may seem like a good thing to do because, you know, you always remember it and you're trying to make the moment special. But here's a caveat. What if, God forbid, you guys ended up getting a divorce or something? Now, you can never ever celebrate the holiday that you got married on or engaged on, because it's always going to be tied to the thought of your wedding, your engagement, if you got engaged or married on a holiday. So not only that you'll be losing your marriage, but the chance to celebrate, whether it's be Christmas or New Year's Day, it will never be the same, because guess what? All you can think about is, you know what, I got married on this day. So now you're feeling down because, you know what, you can't celebrate because your mind keep going back to that day. So try to find a neutral day. You know, God forbid something happen, yeah, you still have your other holidays, you'll still have your other special moments that won't be tied to, you know, the date of the marriage or engagement. Now this is my opinion. You could take it, you could leave it, you could do whatever it is, but that's just my opinion. Don't get engaged, married, or nothing like that on a significant holiday, a significant date, whether it's be a birthday or, as I said, a holiday. So that's just my opinion. You could do whatever you want to do. You could take it, you could leave it. It's just my opinion, and as I said, it's my opinion and I'm allowed to have it. My next unpopular opinion is that a lot of people get married to older people, both men and women, for security. Yeah, and you know what, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with somebody wants to be secure with a partner, and if they believe, or an individual believe, you know what, marrying older, you know, there's a sense of security. There's nothing wrong with wanting security. No, there's not. So I don't think someone should feel bad because they want to marry older for security. Now you could marry, and wanting security, what I want to make clear is that you marrying older because of security does not mean you don't love the person. It does not mean that, you know, it's just because I want this or I want to be secure. No, but a lot of people, they tend to want to marry older. Now if you married your age group, that's up to you, but a lot of people marry for security, older people for security, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just like a lot of people marry younger because that's what they like. So there's nothing wrong with somebody marrying older, whether it's an older man or a woman, for security. I don't think there's a problem with that. There shouldn't be. That's what the person likes. That's their preference. So it is what it is. At 25, in my mind, as a female, I know where I want my life to be. Now, in my mind, males that's 25, they're still testing the water. So I want somebody that's older than me, that's goal oriented, that know what they want. Basically, I don't want them to be figuring out themselves. I'm not waiting another 5 years for you to figure out yourself. No, I'm not doing that. At 25, I need somebody that's already figuring it out. And there's nothing wrong with that, and I don't think you should feel bad. And now the flip side of that is, if you like somebody that's younger, that is of legal age, there should not be any problem with that. Everybody have the right to choose what they want and who they want to spend the rest of their life with, and they should not be guilt into choosing what society believe is best. My next unpopular opinion is marriage do not change people. If the person was a douchebag before marriage, the person is going to be a douchebag after marriage, unless that individual decide to change. Marriage do not change people. So a lot of people marrying hoping that, I could change this individual. You're going to be there waiting till, like, you're the Lord. You're going to be waiting. You're going to be waiting forever, because until that individual decides to change, there's nothing that could change that individual. If that individual is for the streets before marriage, that individual is going to be for the streets after marriage. So unless an individual decide within themselves that, I want to change, this is something I want to do, I want to put away my ways, being married ain't going to change it. The only thing that's going to happen is they're just going to be more sly with it. You know what I mean? They might not be as out front with it, but if they don't feel like changing, marriage is not going to change them. So don't go into marriage thinking that, once we get married, this person's going to change. Nah, marriage don't change people. You're just putting yourself in a trap. You're just putting yourself like an hamster on a wheel, on a wheel that's gonna go around in disappointment. So my advice is, if that person is for the streets, let the streets have them, and find somebody that want to be with you. Don't try to change nobody. And that's my opinion, and I'm entitled to it. My next unpopular opinion is, stop measuring your relationship based on somebody else's relationship. Why? It's because, listen, whatever is in that relationship, you can't measure your relationship based on another person's relationship. What works for one person don't necessarily mean it will work for you. For example, in my household, what works in my household, because of the individual that my husband and myself is, works for us, but it would not work for somebody else's relationship. You understand? So don't compare your relationship or try to tailor your relationship as it relates to looking at somebody's life and saying, I should do this because this person does this and it works for them. No, do what works for you, and do not compare your relationship. You might even look at somebody's relationship and say, dang, that's relationship goals. But you know what? You can't do that, because you don't know what goes on behind closed door. You don't know what you don't see. So when people come out, they could be putting on a front. You know what I mean? They could be living like roommates in their houses, but when you see them outside, they seem as though they're the perfect couple. Nobody knows what goes on inside a person's marriage, only the two individuals in the marriage. So do not compare your life or your marriage to somebody else, and don't look at somebody else's marriage. Yeah, there are things that you may see that you might say, oh, okay, I like that, let me try to do this, we could try this. But never compare yourself. It's like Instagram. Don't compare your life to what you see on Instagram, because it's a facade. You don't, in the same breath, do not compare your marriage to somebody else's marriage, because you don't know if that marriage is a facade. You don't know we're just doing this to do it because of we got things that we have to accomplish together. So don't do that. That's my next unpopular opinion. My other unpopular opinion is, come close for this one. A baby won't make marriage work. Let me say that a little word louder. A baby won't save a marriage. Say it a little louder. A baby won't save a marriage. Yes, that's my unpopular opinion. A lot of people, get into marriages, the marriage is not working out, and they're saying like, oh, you know what, maybe we should have a kid because, you know, if we had a baby. No, that's just compounding something that probably don't work. That's adding more to it that, you know, it might not work. That's just adding more to a situation that's not working. So now, instead of walking away freely, and I'm not advocating for divorce, so I don't want nobody to take this as me saying, oh, divorce this or divorce that. No, I'm just being real about it. Like, you don't bring a child into a broken home. Why would you do that? That is so selfish, and I don't understand why people tend to want to do that to a life. Like, you guys clearly not getting along, but you want to bring a child into the relationship. That's toxic, and that's selfish. That's a toxic trait that I see people perpetuate a lot. Come on, the marriage ain't working, but you think bringing a child in it's gonna fix it? How? Y'all can't agree on simple things now. How y'all gonna agree on something? Y'all even can't agree thinking about a kid. You can't even agree on a name, but you want to bring a whole life into your mess? Come on, people. No, kids don't fix marriage. So don't run to have a child because you think a baby can save the relationship. It won't. It won't. So stop doing it, okay? Okay, promise. All right. My next unpopular opinion about marriage is we both can't be alphas at the same time. We both have to, what I'm trying to say is, if I am an alpha, because I'm an alpha, my husband's an alpha, we both cannot have our alpha tendencies at the same time for a marriage to work. We both have to be willing to compromise. And a lot of us don't like to compromise. Some of us, we don't like to compromise. But in a marriage, you've got to compromise or it won't work. Because I'm not saying compromise your standards now, don't get me wrong. What I'm saying is we both have to be able to willing to step back to say, you know what, let me listen, let me process. Even though we're both alphas, you know what I'm saying, we both can't be strong at the same time as it relates to an incident, because none of us will take a step back and look at the situation through a different lens to see where the other individual is coming from. So the communication will break down and we'll be always arguing, and that will cause a breakdown of the union of the marriage. So yes, we both are alphas. You know, I'm an alpha, my husband's an alpha, but we know when to tone it down. And we're not saying lose yourself, but this brings me to my next unpopular opinion: humility. A lot of us don't have humility. A lot of us don't know how to be humble for the other one, because nobody wants to be wrong. Nobody wants to take an L, quote unquote, take an L. And in a relationship, we can't live like that. We can't look at it like that. We both have to know that, you know, we have to have humility. And a lot of us don't have humility. That is why marriage don't work a lot of time. And we think it's something else, but it's just because we don't have humility. My next unpopular opinion is, and this one is kind of controversial, but I'm gonna say it either way. When you marry, you don't only marry, and some people might give me flack for this, but you don't only marry the individual. Here's why I say that. You also marry the family. Here's why I say that. Remember, this individual is a whole individual before you come along. A whole individual with a whole family. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna, and I'm not saying that a wife or a husband should not let their family know, because in my household, both families know when my husband and I have a disagreement or an agreement, or we're coming to some decision making. No family from each side, both sides, have a right to say anything about it. However, a lot of us get into marriages with our significant other, and we tend to not realize that these individuals come with a whole family. So you can't expect that that person is going to ostracize their entire family, not want to be a part. Some of us, we don't want to be a part of social events, we don't want to participate, and that won't work. You are putting your marriage, a strain on your marriage, because think about it. This person, yes, you are your husband is your person, but your person also have a family, and it would behoove you to have a good relationship with the family. Now, I'm not saying if the family is disrespectful and you got to tell them about themselves, you're not supposed to, because I know I ain't no fool. You have some family out there that they're trifling and you don't want to be a part of it, but on the onset, you try to be cordial to everybody. And remember, you're coming into this family. You know what I mean? You are coming into this family. This family don't know you from nowhere. You understand? So don't believe that when you marry, you're just marrying this person. I don't got to deal with no mother, no father, no nothing, no sister, no cousin. No. Yes, there's going to be boundaries, but you got to realize this person is not just an island. This person comes with a family. My next unpopular opinion is a lot of people stay married or in a union far longer than they should because they think it's a status thing. You know, it looks good to be married. We're not actually happy, but it looks good. It looks good to be Mrs. So-and-so. It looks good to be Mr. So-and-so. You know what I'm saying? So it's a status thing. A lot of people think that, oh, I'm married, it's a status thing, and the perks of marriage, but not being actual married or not enjoying marriage itself. You guys are unhappy together. So I say that, all of that to say, a lot of people stay married just for the perks of it. That's just it, just the perks. Some of y'all looking at the, you know, the insurance is good, I don't know, is good, whatever, fill out the blank, the is good. A lot of people stay married too because of low self-esteem. It's true. Some people have very low self-esteem. They believe that, you know what, my self-worth is wrapped up within this person, who I am. So as I said, it's a status thing. A lot of people stay married because low self-esteem, basically. It's true. It's not a lie. We may not agree, but it's the truth. And another, maybe it's not really an unpopular opinion, but I'm gonna throw it in there. You know, this may not be true, but for everybody, but I'm gonna throw this in there. Gifts do not replace good sex and emotional support. Because a lot of people believe that, you know what, I give her everything, I give him everything, I shower him with whatever he wants, I get her the latest Birkin. But if you not giving her good sex or emotional support, figure it out. Figure that one out. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. Figure that one out. Put two and two together. Okay? My next unpopular opinion about marriage, you know, this one might get me in trouble. My mom might see this and say, what? This goes against everything we teach, everything we believe, and all our Christian values. But to be honest, and this is not for everybody, but I believe that people should live together for a while before they get married. And I know my religious people in here might find that kind of, you know, because, you know, it is encouraged not to live together in certain Christian or certain religion. But I do believe that you have to spend time with a person. Just visiting a person on the weekend, you can't know that person. You can't know what make them tick. Some people don't like people in their space for an extended time. Some people are very territorial. You understand what I'm saying? There are people that's very, very territorial of their space. And it would behoove you to know this before actually moving in with that person. I know I need my space. I know my husband needs their space. So if you're just getting into a relationship, and I'm not encouraging this, but it's my unpopular opinion that I would encourage people to spend an extended time with that with their partner. Whether the partner comes to spend some time with you, you gotta spend some time with your partner. But even though I say that, I'm thinking now, yeah, even then, you never know. But as I said, a lot of people don't like people in their space, and that is one of the major reasons why a lot of people break up, because some people don't like people have some dusty attitude, some dusty tendencies. You may be a neat freak, your partner may be messy. You know what I'm saying? So you've got to know this to say, is this something, am I willing to walk behind this person for the rest of my life? Am I gonna do all of that? So as I said, it would behoove you to spend some time, extended time, quality time with that person, to see if this is somebody I could actually live with. Because you know, in Jamaica they always say, see me and come live with me are two different things. Yeah. My next unpopular opinion is there are no gender roles in a marriage as it relates to who does what. So for example, if there's something in the house that needs to be done, there's no gender role assigned to it. My husband should be able to wash the bathroom if it needs to be washed, if I can't do it, or if it needs to be done. I should be able to do the laundry. I should be able to cook. My husband should be able to cook. My husband should, anything that I can do as a female, my husband's supposed to be able to do it. Because here's the thing, what if I get sick? Then what happens? What if my husband gets sick? God forbid. Then what happens? Nothing is gonna go. Everything is gonna go up in the air, because what? It's that person's responsibility. I'm not saying that you should or you have to do it, but you should be able to do it. And if the roles turn, you should be able to pick up wherever that person left off, or vice versa. My next unpopular opinion is marriage takes work. To have a successful marriage, it takes work, and you have to be willing to put in that work for it to work. You don't just get married and throw your hands up in the air. You're married to somebody that I presume you love, that you want to spend the rest of your life with, you want to procreate with, you know. So it takes work, and we all have to put in our fair share of work for it to work. You understand? To make work work, we've got to work. And this, my friends, is just my unpopular opinion. I am not a relationship coach. I am not a relationship expert. Yes, I am married, but I'm not a relationship coach. I have no formal training as it relates to relationship, but these are just my opinion. And you know what they say about opinion, everybody has one. Everybody is entitled to one. So if you don't agree with my opinions, just sound off in the comment section, but keep it cute, keep it respectful. We can have dialogue. We don't have to agree on things, but the onus of this channel is we don't have to agree on everything, but let us be able to have dialogue one-to-one. We don't have to agree, because that's what makes life fun. We don't all agree on everything. But thank you for joining me. I hope your day is as wonderful as you are. Please do not forget to subscribe. Check out my other videos. Check out my video on trauma, relationship traumas. That is a good one that you should check out. Check out my video on boundaries. I mean, I'm gonna just add a playlist to this of discussions that we've had. And please don't, as I said, don't forget to like, share, comment, and most of all, subscribe. I hope your day is as wonderful as you are.